Alright, I wanted to go over the Venn diagrams and how you can determine validity with Venn diagrams. I graded some of the Dropbox submissions for Quiz 22, which you can find in the Dropbox. And a number of people were on the right track, but there's a couple subtle points that I want to make sure you understand. To that end, I'm going to show you some examples. So let's start with this syllogism. No P is M, all M is S, therefore no S is P. I'm going to use this program, the silly paint program, to map these. So what was our first statement? It was no P is M. Right? So let's do that one first. No P is M. So that means we've got to, in the intersection of P and M, which is right here, we've got to cross out anything in that intersection, which I'm going to clumsily do with this freehand pen here because I don't have any other way to do it right now. There you go. That represents no P is M. What's our second statement? Our second statement of the syllogism is all M is S, or all M are S. Anything that is an M is an S. So that means that there are no M's outside of the S category. All M is S, right? So anything that is an M is thereby an S. So what we have to do in order to represent that is, I'm going to use this pen again to clumsily shade in this section of the Venn because it should be empty. There shouldn't be anything in this section of the Venn diagram, because if all M are S, there can't be anything that is an M that isn't an S. So I'm going to represent that like this. And so that we have our premises mapped here. So now let's look at the conclusion. No S is P, right? So to represent no S is P, I'm going to use my pen again, and I've got to cross out the intersection of S and P of these two categories. No S is P. So there's nothing that is in the intersection of those two categories. All right, I have my Venn diagram now completed. So now what I have to determine is this. Is there any information that's represented in the conclusion that's not already represented in the premises, right? And the answer is that there is, right? So whereas the premises, you see my premises here leave it open that there could be some things that are both S and P. This section right here says that it is allowable that there's something that's both an S and a P, right? But look at my conclusion. Does my conclusion allow that there could be anything that is both an S and a P? And if you see, my conclusion Venn says no, that there's not. What does that mean? That means that my conclusion contains more information than was contained in the premises alone, and that means that this argument is invalid, right? We've shown that it's invalid by this Venn diagram, which shows that there's information contained in the conclusion that isn't already represented in the premise.